Hello everybody, welcome to the first official episode of Good Chats.
Yes.
So today, everyone, the first episode is going to be kicked off with Jack the Hangman Clague. How are we going today, Jack?
Yeah, good mate. I'm loving life. Thanks for having me on the show.
How'd you go at footy on the weekend?
So we went alright. We made it to the grand final and just lost in the TRL, little gala day thing they had there.
Yeah. To the Western Mustangs.
Yes, the Western Mustangs. They got up on us in the end there. We played 6 games and probably about 4 of them we had maybe 14 players.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, it's shitty when you got to play a carnival like that, especially. Like, they're fucking big days. And people don't realise that, I don't feel either. Like, the toll that one footy game takes on you, but backing up for fucking 3 in 2-day period.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Fucking insane. So, for those who don't know, Jack is pubcat number 4, we've just decided. So he'll go down in history as number 4 as of today.
Take that.
There's 1 to 11 of us, and Jack is one of the heavy hitters of the pubcats. So, let's take it back. So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know any of us, really. But what people don't know is that me and Jack actually grew up together in St. George, Queensland.
Yeah, back there.
In the back the backyard.
Yeah,
trampolines all pushed together as well.
Yeah, we all had like a joint backyard sort of thing.
And the fucking old man Emu bar as well.
Yeah,
Shame we weren't old enough to appreciate it back then. So,
definitely.
Where were you born, Jack?
Mate, I was born in Toowoomba. I lived there.
Fuck.
Yeah, I lived there for about 2 weeks, and then, short stint there. But I moved to John Darien because my parents obviously were in the police force and stuff, so they got transferred out to John D. So I lived out at John D for a couple of years. And
John Darien, like halfway between fucking Dalby and Toowoomba, John Darien.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I never knew that about you. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I used to live there for a bit, and then actually. Cookie, who owns the local pub and stuff. Yeah, apparently every time I go and see him, he constantly reminds me. But
does he?
Yeah, him and his wife and stuff used to take care of me and stuff when Mum and Dad were on shift.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, and Cookie's got an amazing story himself. Actually,
Yeah,
I have to get him on an episode. He played fucking State of Origin with some big fucking names too, like Alfie Langer and the King.
Yeah,
but so he lived in John Darien for how many years?
Probably 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Yep.
And then we packed up, and then we went to St. George.
So you're in St. George from when you were 3, 4 years old through to...
Probably 4 to 5, sorry.
A
bit later years. So yeah, we were at St. George for a bit there. And then you fellas came down. You moved down from Caloundra, didn't you?
Yeah, because we hated just pristine fucking beaches, living right on the water.
Live out in the scrub with us.
We thought, fuck, St. George is it next.
It's fucking golden out there, God's country, if anyone knows of it.
So, when did you move then from St. George to Dalby? Because I know you lived here and we didn't even... we weren't as tight, anywhere near as tight back then, but you moved here and we didn't even know that you'd come to Dalby, sort of thing.
So we moved, I forget what year it is, but so probably about 7 or 8 we moved to Dalby, again, just because Mum and Dad got shifted, and then, so we were here for a couple of years, and then Dad got another opportunity to go be a sergeant up north, up at Blackwater, which is about 2 hours from Rockhampton, if anyone knows what Blackwater is. And that beautiful little shithole. But I called that home for a year and a bit, and then we came back to Dalby, and Mum and Dad got out of the force, and we've just sort of been here ever since.
Yeah. So, that's So did you ever get a chance to play for the Dragons out of St. George, or? No,
I didn't start my footy till I got to Dalby.
Oh, so you started with the Devils?
Yeah, started with the Devils, yeah.
At what age were you?
Under 8s I started with the Devils.
And you played all the way through, eh? Or did you have a couple of years off, or?
No, I played every year, apart from, obviously, last year due to COVID and stuff, but...
Yeah, they're fucking big stints.
Yeah.
From under 8s through to 16s is 8 years.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah.
But, so you played that whole grade. You were in a pretty good side too. The grade above you, like us, we had, we were a fucking shit side right up until 16s when we hit our sort of stride, and even then we didn't play anywhere near to our potential. We went down to a very, very good South side that was, they just sort of were the champions, and that's how it went. But you guys had played in it. Like, you played in the 14s grand final.
Yeah, we sort of got a few new fellas in, probably under 13s. They all started coming in, like Latana King Tonga came and played for us, Andy Smith, and just a few other blokes came and joined. We sort of hit our straps about 13s, and then started obviously getting good mateships and stuff with that, and that came through on the field. And we played well, we'd always make the finals, but we just never quite got to the big dance.
Yeah.
If we did, we didn't get it.
No, those cookies are just a little too far
Just
out of reach.
Just a little too far out of reach.
Oh, mate, it's devastating. I played, 15 years of rugby league and played in one grand final and lost it detrimentally.
Yeah.
But it happens. So you played all the way through to 16s and then straight into under 18s.
Yeah, my under 18s is probably where the best year of my footy started.
Yes, and off the field.
I don't know about on the field, but off the field was
off the field, Jack was the best footy player of the team. So, what was your best memory sort of from your under 18s year? That first year of under 18s, playing as a younger fellow with the older boys. Like, I know you didn't have many, if not any, connections with our age group, and so for you to come in and poke your nose through as one of the most socially likeable dudes in the team, which you were, hats off to you. That was fucking, and that's sort of where we picked up, hey, this fella's fucking got it.
So 18s was, the first year of 18s was the year that I left school. So I finished grade 11, I didn't go back to grade 12. So I'd finished up 16s and I actually wasn't going to play any more footy, but then, just being around a few boys and stuff, and they said, come play for seniors, it changes, the game, everything, when you start playing with big boys and stuff, and training with them. And so I rocked up a few training sessions, and then, the fire was lit again, and I really wanted to play and stuff, and then I got to training, and I think just because I was, working every week sort of thing, and not in school, I sort of,
you fall out.
Got around some of the older blokes who were obviously doing it for years and stuff, and they, made you realise that this is what men do.
And it's easy to fall into that, you just work your ass off all the fucking time, and the social life falls to the side. And obviously you got your weekends and stuff, if you're a week worker, but footy just, and I feel like that's why it's still so popular in Dalby as well. Such a small town, there's not much to do outside of, it's a workers' town sort of thing. So definitely. Footy sort of keeps everyone connected, and people go out for dinner during the week, but the fucking boys go to footy training to catch up, and you know. But so you played the first year of under 18s. What was your number one fucking memory from that first year?
That's a really hard one to pick, but I reckon you got to go with your first though, don't you? It was our first bus trip back from Wattles. We'd won.
What was the score? It was fucked.
It was a big score.
It was 94 to 0.
Yeah, so we had a big win, and obviously we felt like world beaters. So we jumped on the bus home, and I think bus trips sort of the last year or so hadn't been quite what they what legend had been told around the club and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so you and Tyson Beasley, when you got given the opportunity, you took it with both hands and just ran the ball up, didn't you? We had some absolute messy bus trip time.
I remember that. For a bus trip I shouldn't remember, I remember that clear as day.
Our first bus trip was, I think we strictly just stuck to Mangoes, and it was about 2 hours back to Dalby.
Well, people forget that you would have been first year apprentice or second year apprentice.
Yeah.
I fucking was repeating grade 12 due to an injury, and so there was no fucking money. So, and at this point, all of us fucking boys were fucking big lads.
So pull all our money together, we can get whatever we can get. The Mangoes it was.
And I think it was 2 cartons of the 30s golds.
Yeah.
And so it's about an hour and a half drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a massive one, but it's still a half decent sized bus trip.
Yeah.
And so we were playing drinking games and whatnot, and then like the Fall Apart by Post Malone. Did that that was Bus Trip?
Yeah, that was the Bus Trip that happened. Yeah.
Still to this day, the boys take the piss out of that. And then I remember getting off the bus and spewing my ass up at John Darien, I think it was.
Yeah, we all jumped off for a piss break, and I think we just emptied ourselves from the mouth and we got back on.
We started some rules, I think.
Yeah.
And I can only vaguely remember a couple, but that started because Dad had told me about Tony Carmichael's bus trips.
Oh, stuff of legend, mate.
And he reckons, you know, like you'd fucking, if everyone was getting off for a piss, Tony'd have a fold-out table and shots poured, and you weren't allowed back on the bus until you did a shot. And so tried to bring a little bit of that in, and so, you know, you're already seeing triple, and you get off the bus, and then, you know, you got the boys being like, nah, either climb through a fucking window and scull something, or, and then it just went fucking way too loose from there. But, that had definitely, like, that situation was probably what, like, if you can disagree if you like, but, like, that year and, like, those situations were probably, like, what brought you out so much of your shell, and, like, because you were turning 18 midway through that year.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know for me and Tyson especially, like, we were just like, fuck, like, this cunt is fun. Like, that's...
I definitely thought that myself, that, like, coming through school and stuff, I was always tight with mates, but if it ever come to, like, going to piss up or something, I'd just be like, oh, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
And then, but, like, I think that was just because I needed the right people to be around.
Yeah, and, like...
And definitely, like, you two fellas, and, you know, a majority of that bus... first Yardians bus trip, that was the thing to live for. You know, we go, we play footy, and it's not if we win, it's when we win, so that we can get to the pitch.
Yeah.
Because everyone knew if you don't win, you don't get a bus trip home. So.
And, like, to be honest, people will never understand unless they experience it. Like, the fucking feeling of winning a game of footy, knowing, like, you'll finish that game of footy and you're still on the fucking field. And you're like, the fucking bus trip home. Like, you know it's going to be fucking good.
Oh, I'm sure there was some points, even if the games that we were going down to the wire and we really needed to win, that was the thing that got us over.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck, boys, I'm thirsty. Give me the ball. I'm taking it up.
Jack's playing half cut already.
Yeah.
But, and, like, people will never understand until they understand it.
Definitely.
And so, or until they experience it. Like, the feeling, and it's just different, eh? Like, footy... Like, the positive, like, sort of energy that footy can bring to not only just, like, your competitive side, but the social side and everything around it. Like, you make mates for life out of footy. Like...
Not even that. I honestly, I'm a big believer in that. If you are with the right people and the right footy team, you've got brothers. Like, even blokes who, you know, you know, your senior players who have been there for 15
countless years,
they're the ones, they'll be the first ones to come and go, well, you're the new blood, you're the one here, we're going to look after you, take you in, and it's just brotherhood, man.
Like you said, brotherhood, definitely.
That's
like,
it.
Once you're there, you can expect, like, you're on a night out, and you got mates that you haven't played footy with probably ever, but you're in the same club, and they, like, fucking get around you. And, like, I think that's so fucking positive, and it's something that's, you know, not sort of not carried on about as much. But, so finish under 8. Oh, no, well, you played the next year of under 18s. Lucky enough.
Yeah, so we finished up the year that I played with you boys. We finished up. We didn't finish too crash side. I think South Towers in the finals there.
Yeah, in the semis, I think it was like 50
odd. That was a sad trip home. But anyway, we had a good breakup party. And,
yes.
We moved on to the next year, and next year we had some very talented players come through in the younger years, and they helped us go all the way through and win the thing.
Just back to that breakup party.
Yeah, go back to that breakup party.
Was that the debut of the Irish accent?
That was. That's one of the things you can sit back and laugh about it now, but the next day I was sitting there going, what the fuck happened there?
Oh, man, I remember I had neighbours calling mum and dad, like, not negative whatsoever, but they were just like, I've got Serena Williams spewing in your backyard, like waving to my children out the back, because, you know, like, I organised it all and planned it, and it was 30 costumes in a hat, and you had to pull out a costume.
Yeah.
And you had to come dressed as, and you weren't supposed to tell each other, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know where the Irish accent come from. So Jack kind of got blackout drunk and just started abusing everyone in an Irish accent.
That was probably the top 3 most drunk I've ever been. Because I was hit the beers hard, and then I think Brad brought out the rum shots.
Yeah.
And then I remember doing one, but there's a bit video of me doing about 12 of them, just back to back. And then so the rest of the afternoon's a bit fuzzy, but yeah, I don't know what set it off. I think, someone must have. It was around the time that Conor McGregor was pretty big, so that probably popped up. Yeah, and
I was Conor McGregor at that point.
I originally came dressed as Osama bin Laden, and then I just lost the towel. I don't know what I was doing.
It was I was overly impressed, but like your grade knew how to party better than my grade did. If that makes sense. So like the footy boys in my grade, half of them were like, fuck, like, let's get around the boys. And the other half were like, we're too cool for this shit. Like, we don't want to fucking party this.
That was definitely what I noticed in the first years, that I got around Marcy's and stuff, but there's a few of them, like, you obviously get along with them on the field and on the pitch and stuff, you play well together, but off the field, you don't sort of have much to do with each other.
Yeah, and which is like, I think, sort of sad, and it's not, like, it's just people not buying into, like we trying to be fucking mates with everyone inside.
Yeah, definitely. But like, you don't even have to. I don't think that you have to go to the pub or you have to come and drink yourself stupid to have a good time and stuff. But just like, I think it's always better if everyone's there, sort of thing.
Jack Clague has said that here first. He doesn't think you have to be stupid drunk to have a good time.
It bloody helps, but no, you don't have to.
It's the water slide into the social event that you need. But I knew your grade was going to turn up, and fucking oath they did. Blake Hunter's Joker outfit blew me away. Like, he looked exactly...
he was best dressed, for sure.
He looked like if they were going to make a porno of Batman and they had, like, a shitty-ass Joker. Like,
he was a parody Joker.
He was a parody.
He was.
So we had that breakup, and then yous won the grand final the year after. Yous were the first under-18s team. That's insane, eh?
Yeah, first Ides under-18s team to...
In history, they've been in the comp for 40 years, I think, under-18s.
Yeah, and that was the year that we did it.
I don't know if it's 40
the
years,
year before, obviously, and then it didn't come through, and then the next year we had a lot of the grade below me have a lot of very talented footballers.
Shit, yeah.
Like, obviously...
the likes of Josh Chappell.
Yeah, Josh Chappell, who's up playing for Parramatta at the moment.
Yep.
Their feeder side, and Sam Gillespie was an outstanding player.
Fellow pubcat, Max Brady.
Trent Cousins as well.
Oh, and Max Brady, Trent Cousins
Brady.
and Sam Gillespie.
So, they were just like blokes who were, despite being a year younger, that when you looked to them, they'd lift. They'd lift for you.
Oh, yeah, and they were like, like you hear people say, oh, they're a fucking good club player.
Yeah.
Like, they were, like Sam Gillespie and Max Brady, and, like Josh Chappell's playing rep now, but they were exceptional club players.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so, like, this was just their fucking playground. And to be a year younger and still dominate.
Yeah.
And then, like, I remember watching that grand final, I was fucking pissed off me fucking chair with Oscar and Keanu.
On the field.
Yeah. And Keanu Dunrobin, he fucking scored a double, didn't he, in that game against Gatton?
Oh, mate, for a 16-year-old to come up and play in an under-18s grand final, not just come up, but to take the whole grand final by the balls and say, I'm here to play, fuckers, that was just awesome.
And what was the score?
I forget the score. I think it was like 34-12. So they blew out, I think, 12 points against us at the start.
Yeah, they did.
So they got off to an early start because we dropped the ball and just obviously didn't have a good start to the game. And but that was the whole story of our season, though. We'd start games slow and finish strong, but and then in the back end it was all us. And that was probably the best feeling I've had in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Just, that when that final hurdle went and, there was a bit of push and shove there at the end, but no, it was good. It didn't even quite sink in either because we'd been on such a bit of a streak. Like, we hadn't lost a game most of that year, and to go through and pull that one. He's like, oh, it's just another win. Who we got next week? Oh, never mind.
It's like, this is a fucking grand final. I remember, riding on those coattails because I was like, there's not a fucking chance now. I'm not celebrating this grand final with them. So ended up back in the sheds at the clubhouse. I was kicking myself that I didn't sneak onto the bus, the bus trip home. But then the clubhouse fucking piss up, and then the next morning waking up Scott in his own bedroom, carrying a 6-pack, he'd be like, Scott, get on the fucking beers. But that was amazing. And you guys had a side that I don't think, obviously the under-18 side this year filled with blokes that missed out because of COVID last year in their first year, so they're playing their first year at under-18s, which could go either way. It could be that, because they're not alone, the rest of the competition still missed out because of COVID. So that older grade that are 18 this year, Huey Clark played front row for years on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, Huey Clark played on the A grade side on the weekend and definitely played well above his.
Was there any other younger blokes that stepped up?
So Ryan Welsh is another bloke who should have been playing 18s last year, but obviously he couldn't. And he's come into the senior side, reserve grade, A grade, and he's just taken it by the horns.
Yeah.
He's so aggressive, so quick, and he's one of the blokes you love having on the field with you. So he's been a standout in every game he's played this year.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and even Braden Falvey at training is, we're trying to get these younger fellas trying to train, we're swapping them and trying to train them, get them used to playing against men and stuff, and a lot of them just take it by the horns because they got an opportunity, which is what you love to see.
I think also there was when the grade above us went through, there was a lot of hype about them guys being and everyone kind of turned their eyes away from the juniors for a bit. Yeah. And so I was like, look at these fucking young boys playing under 18s, we're fucking killing it. And then there was my age group, then your age group, then Max's age group. And then it was the year of COVID off, and it's kind of no one's really had a chance to look at that under 16s that would have come through.
Yeah, definitely.
So now they're here and they're actually turning up and they're playing fucking good footy. They're coming to train and they're keen.
They got the fire in their eyes. They rock. They want.
And see, they come from a comp with only 4 teams in under 16s. When I played 16s, we had every single club had a team, plus Kingaroy come into the comp and had a team.
Yeah, there was plenty of comp.
So when you guys went through, there was a couple of teams that didn't play.
Yeah, there was definitely. I think I'm not sure which grade, but there was definitely one year there were 15s and 16s, and they had 4 teams in the comp because of no players.
Yeah.
But it's definitely good to see them come through and play seniors and stuff, and just to. It's what footy does. It brings you out of your shell. Definitely, I know it did it for me, and it'll do it for a lot of other people.
Yep. And so the pubcats will be watching the footy, watching the younger boys to see
hurling abuse from the Canberra.
We will be Canberra warriors. That is for sure.
Yeah, builds character though. When you look to the Canberra and you see someone pulling the piss out of you, wow, there we go.
Yes, me and whenever Oscar Brady is back in town, we will be. Definitely deflecting off each other some heavy chat from the Canberra.
Oh, don't worry. I just want to say quick shout out to Wade Austin there last night. He was sitting on the sideline, had a little bit of abuse of me for a bit there. And, as I was lining up to go on for interchange, he was, we're number 8, you done nothing tonight, and just, you're a pub cat, and just give it to me. But
he can throw chat too, actually.
He can. But that's all right. That's what you love, isn't it? That's what footy's based on.
Oh shit!
You gotta have a dig.
You need to have a laugh. I remember, we're rambling a little bit here, but I remember in under 16s, I got trash talked by Pakesy, and he was yelling out across the field "Oh, number 10's got a bone," just shit you've never you're what? You wouldn't even think I don't know, I'm confused. Is that supposed to, hurt my feelings? Or this kick's coming to you, number 10, just giving it to me all fucking game.
Yeah, and you're sitting there going, playing front row, why are you kicking to me?
Please don't kick it to me. But, so, move past under 18s, your third year plumber?
I'm in my 4th year now.
4th year?
4th year apprentice.
So what's your plans going forward?
I think I'll finish my apprenticeship in Dalby and stuff, and then I'll stick around and I'll just sort of see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Because there's no point making plans or setting plans and anything.
No, well, yeah, think about fucking COVID as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so just play it by ear, and I sort of always been that way. Just play off the back of it, and
just do what makes you happy. Eh?
That's it.
If it's not making you happy, it's not fucking worth your time.
That's it. That's definitely right.
So piss up stories. I gave you a chance, an opportunity to think about it. What is your favourite story? Could be short as, could be long as. Like, what is a moment that you're like, all right, picture this, you're 10 beers deep, a couple of shots deep at the pub.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about how fucking big their cock is on the piers, and you turn up and you're like, I got a fucking story for you.
Yeah, slap me dick on the table.
Yeah, you put your dick on the table and you're like, I got a fucking story for you that are going to knock your socks off.
There's honestly a lot of
stories. I imagine that you have a fucking big storybook of piss-up stories.
There's a whole diary.
So I was excited actually to hear this and to ask you this, because I feel like I've lived probably not even 15% of these stories with you. Like, you get around, and we've been on the piss a lot of fucking times together.
I honestly, I'll have to go, and I don't want to go back to it, but I have to. It's my number one. It's probably the 18s bus trip home after we won the grand final.
Yeah.
It was just, we pulled up at Dan Murphy's, and it was our back rower, Kuyon, and Tim Sheen came in with me. We went into Dan Murphy's and we got money off everyone. We went in there and we came back out with about $400 worth of grog.
Oh, yeah.
And then about $100 in cigars.
Shit.
Yeah, she was a big bus. And it was from Toowoomba, so it was probably 45.
Yeah.
Probably an hour on that bus because, just didn't find fifth gear too well. But, we demolished it. It was, everyone was doing shoeies out of their boat.
Yeah.
There was people doing trophy, doing it out of trophy, and that bus was trash by the time we got home. And then we got home, and everyone was inside the clubhouse waiting for us to come in, and they were apparently sitting there waiting for about 35 minutes because we were just trying to get the bus, just trying to get out of the bus because we were all rattled.
Yeah.
Trying to get our feet to walk in, and we walked in, held the trophy up, and then it carried on at the Leagues Club too. We went down to the sheds. After we did a bit of a
I remember going to the shed.
We went down to the sheds. And, just the scenes there. I've never seen the sheds in that state. Just absolute piss all over the floor.
There was people jumping off massage beds onto holdouts.
I think what we really turned it on for us was Tom Boland came in probably about 5 minutes after we all got in there.
Yeah.
There was a big ladder in the corner. I don't remember the ladder being there, but I just remember the ladder appearing, and Tom Boland was right at the top of this ladder. This wasn't just like a little step ladder. This was like a big, probably 2 meter ladder. And he's launched himself off of it, and he's gone straight through a foldable table, gotten up and gone, you, just fucking up the boys, and we were just going, fuck it, let's turn it on. There was fucking, everyone was sculling drinks here, smashing bottles, and it was just a carry on.
See, there was a little bit of shit that happened that night. That
but that was bound to happen.
That was dumb shit. But you kick on then from the Leagues Club. Do you just go straight to Scott's, or is it? Because not you guys were 18. People forget that you just couldn't have stayed at the club all night.
Well, there was a few boys that weren't even 17 at that point.
16-year-olds.
So there was no chance we were going to the pub, and we made a decision as a playing group that none of us were going to go to the pub.
Yeah.
We said, no, we're a team, we're going to stick together. So we've probably left the Leagues Club at 11 o'clock, all straddled over to Scotty Hall's house, and then just ran a fuck there.
He would have copped. His house would have copped a
his house has copped a few pizzlings. Because when he was because he was coach of our team, and then he was the coach of the winning side the next year.
Fucking kicking.
So I had Scotty as a coach for 2 years, and that's probably one of my favourite years of football. Was under him, and every time that we had a team bonding session at his place, there was shit happening left, right,
team bonding session. That is a polite way of binge piss ups.
Yeah.
But those are the fucking best ones. Our fucking end of year trip here, end of year fucking party here. That is fucking can't be beaten.
I definitely reckon that if you're at someone's house privately, like it's you and just your mates. There's a lot of if any shit happens, it's just you guys. You deal with it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to the pub and a bit of shit happens and it just blows up, and like I'm all for going to the pub and stuff, but nothing will ever beat a team bonding session at a coach's house or a player's house, because it's just all your mates who have been in there all day. You've been in the hot sun, tackling your ring holes out. You know, you
haven't eaten a thing. So the beers, you haven't eaten a couple beers, and you're half chatty.
Yeah, that's it.
So.
And everyone gets around each other.
Yeah.
Because you're teammates.
And that's like I said before, like people don't understand like the beauty of it, and the like it's a vibe. Like I hate to say that fucking phrase because it makes me sound like a fuck, but it is.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. Like anyway, righto. So
thank you for having me.
That's all right. So this episode, ladies and gentlemen, was brought by Burley Big Head. It's a beer that me and Jack have been drinking this whole episode prior to, and we'll finish the 6-pack together. But obviously this is season 1, episode 1. Stay tuned. Next week we will have a new pub cat on the stand for the Easter episode.
Do we know her yet?
I don't know. I need to.
It's a luck of the draw.
I need to see the boys. It'll be drawn out of a hat to see who gets to.
Yeah, right.
Come hang out with me. Good. But yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. The episode is on our YouTube, obviously. This is where you're listening to it. If you are listening to it, you've taken the first step. And subscribe, like, follow the Instagram, tell your fucking mates.
Watch this space.
Keep watching this space. We've been saying that for a while now, but just keep watching it. It'll move. But yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Jack for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, stay tuned.